I thank my brother Kunta. I don't come through most of all like talk about it, but just the way God brought me here. And I'm here in the building with my brothers. And we have what's your name again, my brother? Chris. My brother Chris. All y'all out there know you, support my brother Chris, man.
Real talk.
Real deal. You understand? And like I said, thank y'all, brother. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I'll hold up. My brother won't ask me stuff.
One time before you disappear, okay? For me, you was more than an inspiration in our generation because you wasn't one of the guys that advocated for bullshit, even when I was advocating for bullshit.
Real talk.
You'd be one of the ones, man, nah, it's not tripping.
Yeah.
Let's go. Fuck what they talking about. The niggas angry. We doing.
All the real.
So the time that you spent, doing what you was doing in the prison for us, football activities and shit, all the shit that you participated in, all the all-star games, representation of our era. You represented that shit well. We love that shit.
All real.
Appreciate you.
All real.
All hard. Always my best, smallest.
See, that's my boy up. One time we were playing a football game at Camp D. Boy, they out there. Boy, they amped up. He already cocky. He already, look, he aggressive. You hear me? I mean, he just one of them type of dudes you did real dude. If you don't understand me, you ain't real. He stood on some shit behind it. Look, we had a game. Look, they getting chaotic on the side. I'm bucking. I'm short. He said, look, short. He said, it's your fight. Get on back, girl. I got this shit, girl. I said, yeah, boy. And say, look, this is my dog. I'm talking about one time he came to sit by your cutthroat. He came in the time. We all in the bathroom. Look, two real dudes. Right after that, you know where we went? They said them dudes were crazy. But it was just some real stuff. You understand? It was some real stuff. And say, bro, like I said, it's an honor to come here. This is my first podcast. I know dudes like, I know these BGs.
I need to ask you a question. Dealing with the sports fronts.
Yeah.
I think me and you kind of like, we ran across each other in our prime.
Yeah.
And we probably have been at that point, kind of like this, second year or something like that.
Yeah.
So look, saying that to say, how does it feel like just thinking about like, man, like your best years, and I don't want it to be like a down thing.
Oh no, I'm 51 summers, dog. I'm an OG in the game.
Reflecting back on that, you know what I'm saying? What does it motivate you, or what would it push you to now? You know what I'm saying? Reflecting back on that. I know my dog. You know the great tap dancer. You know what I'm saying? Leroy Nelson. You know what I'm saying?
Old top.
He was one of the greatest. You know.
Yeah. And that b-ball.
My brother feels some kind of way about, damn, boy, I could have. You know what I'm saying? But talk about that aspect of it, man. You know what I'm saying? And being able to how that help you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. For sure.
You know what I'm saying? It was a gift and
I'm glad you brought that up, man. You know. On the real, I'm about to let you know. I'm about to let you know what's happening. I'm about to let you know what's happening.
This one of the best. Before you go, I be like this. Before you go, this one of the best footwork niggas I ever saw in my life.
Real talk, I be telling my son. I said, man, you just said, but you had to see my football. See, I play with dudes.
Look at the way he building your life.
Yeah.
You wouldn't expect him to be like,
Yeah. You gonna undermine me? I'm coming through that. Sit. Check this out, boy. I'm glad you brought that up, bro. You know I love football. You heard me?
Yes, sir.
And I always think about, what could have been. And me being at the age that I am now, growing up, although you was that top star, you knew you was that top star. At the height that I was, it wasn't no motivation. It was like, you're not gonna make it. No, at 51 years old, you had to be, like 6 foot, 5'11". I was a short dude, but I knew I was toting that pill. But I still played. But anyway, to make a long story short, when I went to Booker T. Washington, we played against Marshall. I had to play against Peyton Manning every year. We used to come to straight Shakespeare Park every year and beat the piss off Peyton Manning now. At Norman School, bro. Real talk. We used to walk from L. Davis Park every Saturday morning, every year, and go play Norman. They always one player. They couldn't win. And the only thing was on our mind was to beat the Peyton boys. We were the quarterbacks. We got to sandwich them boys. We got to take them out the game. But I ain't gonna lie, they was hitting hard. But they couldn't win. But anyway, I played against Marshall. Just to speak on, some of the things that I've been through growing up playing football. I was one of the best dudes uptown. Outsider. Not outsider. Randy Livingston, no, he beat me on the track field. Only reason why he beat me on the track field, I'm short. I got short steps. He got long steps. So my coach telling me to take these strides, and then when I get at a certain point, crank it up. It was too late. He had them long foots. He beat me. I was mad. Randy Livingston. So one day my coach told me, you know what I'm saying, due to poverty, if I'm saying that right, I chose to do some other things at the same time, love football. And my coach always told me, he said, look, Elvin, he said, look, you know what's going to happen with you? I always lied to the coach while I'm in football practice. Only time I was showing up at the game. Booker T. Walsh, Key James was our running back. Marshall Ford was playing for Carver. We played them. They was battle running back. Key James was a melt. But anyway, he said, look, Elvin, you're going to waste your time and your talent in penitentiary if you don't get yourself together. He said, but you got too much talent. At that time, I'm like, shit, man, the NFL ain't nowhere on my mind. I'm just a dude that grew up in the project. I could play football. I knew I could play, but I'm in school, so why not play? I ain't looking past that, bro. You tripping, you hear me? So if you put me over to you put me over to I'm going to play in the project. We're going to get the different color uniform. We're going to play. We're going to get down. We're going to have fun. We're going to play football on the neutral ground. We're going to play. But anyway, make a long story short, Coach Mack came. I went to the penitentiary. I said, man, I just see him out there throwing the football, and I just be looking. I said, man, I could beat him. Man, but I ain't playing. You understand? I ain't playing. They don't know I can play football. Yeah, they don't know I can play football. So one day my homie Duke, he got a tour with the coach. I was at Camp C. So you know how that is, this dude I grew up with. He cut the cleats up. He had brand new cleats. We in the penitentiary. Boy, you got the baddest cleats up here. He cut his cleats up. I said, man, what you doing? He said, I'm cutting my quit. I said, no, man, don't quit. He said, man, I quit. I said, oh, no, bro. I said, don't quit. He said, man, I quit. I said, man, I'm going out there. I remember Zoe from Crow That River. Alonzo Ford.
Ain't that something? Man.
Joe, you know Joe back in the pen, you know what I'm saying? Praying for your homie. But Zoe was playing football. Zoe really didn't care, you know Zoe. Zoe said, man, you can have my helmet in and shoulder pad. I went out there. They said, what you doing out there? I said, man, I'm coming to me. I want to try out for the team. They said, what you want to play? I said, I can play running back or safety. One or two. So they had they chose a few. They chose a few. They don't know. I can get down, dog. So they sizing me up right now. So they put me on defense when I come up and hit dude too hard. They had the seniority thing. You can't hit him that hard. Did you have football practice? I'm like, God damn, this is some other shit. So I wound up playing ball there, bro. And make a long story short, ESPN came up there one year. You remember that, Troy? ESPN came up there one year, and they had a dude named Joker. Joker said, man, I watch everybody work out. He said, but I ain't saw nothing like this dude yet. He said, why this dude don't be playing as much? He put me on the field, ESPN. After the game was over with, ESPN came to the dome and asked me what I'm doing in prison with all that talent. I was something they never saw. Say, real talk.
Fact check that.
For real. ESPN, I'm in the penitentiary. ESPN, they came to see the Raiders. But after they saw me, everything transformed. They came right back to me. Hey, come here. Who number 7 is? What are you doing in prison? I'm here for drugs. What? I got a life sentence for drugs. What? With all that talent? So to make a long story short, it was, I had talent, I think about those days, but I can't bring those days back. I'm 51 summers, you understand? But I had talent, bro. Whoever thought I didn't, man, I had talent, man.
Now, guess what? Look, now you still got it. You can share it with the next generation.
That's what I want to do.
You know?
That's my thing, is dig football. I gave a banquet for a bunch of kids that played for a park that I used to always go to. They went to the championship. They only had 12 players. But they were huffing and puffing. They were grinding with 11, 12 players. People undermined when they had St. Redfield Park. They had the best team. They had like 2 teams, like a baby St. All or something. But the kids that I'm with, they grinded. And look, guess what? At halftime, they was up on them. They couldn't believe that. And guess what happened after that? The kids wound up losing the game because they didn't have enough players to proceed. They waited till halftime to report the kids saying that they only have 12 players. Wow. When you realize, boy, they bringing it. You about to go down like the Titanic. You about to go down. And they waited till halftime to file a protest, and they end the kids, they were going to be a champ. So what I went down, I went took my hard-earned working money and done something for those kids that we didn't have the opportunity to do, or we didn't have that type of support. So I gave them a banquet. I got videos, they got trophies, they got rings. They had a great time. So that's my thing. I even went to Nord and request for a football team. They just don't want to holler.
We're going to start our own league.
I have one for you. I have one for you.
We're going to start our own
We
league.
get up there. We got it. We blood.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Real talk.
You be a coach. Nobody.
Real talk. And then look, and it's so crazy about Nord, I tried, how coaches are, but I'm the type of coach like this here. Kids have to crawl before they walk. Some coaches that I saw in the Nord League, they be too excessive.
Right. Yeah.
You take away the fun.
Reach people where they
At that point, they growing. We molding these kids.
Process.
It's a process.
Fact.
The pressure you put on the next level, you can't put on them. The things that you expect them to do, you can't. The other kids to do, you can't expect them to do. It's a level. Everything growing. So we got to mold these kids to the next level. And that's what a lot of coaches don't understand. It's a level. Yeah, all of us want to win, but we can't get that emotional when it comes to the kid. We could pump, we could make sure that they go out there and put out everything they supposed to, but at the end of the day, we can't get that emotional when it comes to kids. Parents and everything. I mean, everybody grows. And don't get me wrong, it went off. She said, Coach, I understand. Man, you got to go. Because I'm looking at the point like, bro, they kids. Don't discriminate. Hey, man, at the end of the day, hey, my kid playing for this team, I sure do want them to win. But I understand the process. I understand that every kid out here deserves an opportunity to show what they know. Whether we win or lose.
Well spoken, bro.
All I'm doing is training these kids to go to what? The next level.
And respect the process.
That's it. So when the kids grow up understanding the process and the levels that they have to take in life, they understand life better.
See, they're
skipping over steps. They're going from one point and saying, all right, this is how it was when I was growing up. No. You had a process too. You had to take steps too. It just wasn't given to you like we giving it to them. So don't take what you've been through and bring it into their life. Change that matter. Change that thought. That takes steps. It's a process. Don't get personal. We're not getting paid for this. You here to help me and I'm here to help you. I'm here to help your kids. You here to help mine. You here to help me. We here to grow. We want to make sure our kids straight. And the first thing to it is to take steps. Teach those kids that life is about steps. You can't skip over nothing. It's a process, bro. Life is a process. See, we get caught up when we skip over the process. See, when we were growing up, we didn't know there was a process. We just was like, hold up. Shit, it's over there. Let me try to, man, yeah. Man, you too young to be going. In our mind, we looking like we 10 years old, we looking like we 40 in our mind. Now, why the police pulling us over? Man, you 10 years old running up here. You out here. You know why? Because we didn't know the steps. And that's what's happening now today, bro. Kids don't know the steps. See, if they knew the steps, they wouldn't be trying to steal no car. Because they know they can't go along with a stolen car. There's going to be some serious consequences, but they don't know the steps. And some of the people that want the kids steal a car, they don't know the steps. Let the kid go with the car, you got insurance. Don't trip. Don't get all hostile. All right, Lil?
Put him in jail.
Go ahead and look, throw my ID out the window. Throw my ID out the window. You can't get mad at me. I'm not the law enforcement. I'm not about to take living life behind a car. You can have them 4 wheels.
Talk to me, bro.
I got insurance.
Talk to me, bro.
But I'm not condoning y'all doing that because I know people that naive just like y'all.
Yes, and they need them cars. People need
They need their transportation. So the kids need to understand the steps.
That's up.
You gonna get a car?
Killer shit. Talk to me.
You gonna get a car. You 10 years old, boy. You still go to school. You ain't even graduated.
Work for it. Earn your keep.
It's gonna happen for you.
Get the electric bike first.
Mom, daddy, grandma, grandpa, all of them struggling for you, bro. Believe me. It might not look like that, but they're really out here trying to make sure you straight. And you got to make sure they straight by doing the right thing. Understanding the process, the steps.
Bless.
And that's all I got to say, my brother. All right.